Roll call, please.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Magistrate Anderson?
Here.
Magistrate Johnson will be here. Magistrate Murphy?
Here.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dotson?
Here.
Magistrate Barney?
Here. Leo, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge.
Public comment. Chip Goosler?
Is that Chick or Chip?
My name's Chip Guzlin. I've been a business owner for many years here in Pike County, and I would like to start off by commending Jeff Anderson for mentioning repealing the occupational tax, and I was just wondering where we're at on that particular issue. You have mentioned that you was going to ask for the occupational tax to be removed at the end of the first quarter.
No, I just made a motion. I mean, I didn't, that's about all I did. I mean, I haven't commented on it since.
I was wondering if maybe we could ask for another motion today to get that repealed or to get it taken away as...
Well, Chip, right now, as it stands, I just found this out 5 minutes ago. I don't even know if that's an option considering our current budget situation. And I just had some issues. It wasn't anything, political, personal.
Right.
It wasn't anything like that. But from what I have briefly been told earlier, that tax actually might, the county, due to us not being able to get some of our severance tax monies that we have always gotten in the past, it may, might be something that we're stuck with.
Okay. Is it there, why are we not concentrating on bringing jobs?
Well, I don't want to speak for the entire court, but I think we are concentrating on bringing some jobs into the area. I don't know, all the particulars. I know Magistrate Dotson has been working, seems like forever, diligently on some issues on the tourism side. Excuse me. And I know the judge's office, and maybe Lisa can give us an update. That's basically what she does on a full-time basis. Is she goes out and talks to different people, agencies, to see what we can get in here. I do know, I think next month, and I don't know if any of the court members are aware, and I just mentioned it to Jonda, there's a conference in Lexington that Altec, who's got some industry here, I understand, is going to have a conference. It's going to, I just looked at briefly looked at their agenda this morning. It's got, it's going to be for entrepreneurs, all kinds. They call it the best of the best, and they said if there's a conference you need to attend, and I think it's something that probably some of us, and Lisa probably already knows about it, that we need to look at, because we're going to have to go out and, market ourselves, because as well as anybody, they're just not going to come here and say, hey, we're here to build a factory. We're going to have to go out and get them. But anyway, back to your original question. This court has, I think we're in 2 lawsuits, one involving the severance tax, which was one of the reasons the tax had to be passed initially, is because we weren't able to use the severance tax monies as we had in the past. And if Mr. Hayes wants, if I say something not technically correct or legally correct, he can jump in. But basically, we had no option because of Pike County was singled out in the state budget that we could only use severance tax revenues for certain items. Is that correct, John?
2 years ago, when the state passed its biennial budget, Pike County was, as Magistrate Anderson stated, singled out. It was singled out of all coal-producing counties. That's eastern Kentucky and western Kentucky, and coal-impacted counties. Coal-impacted counties would be a county where no coal is mined. However, coal may be hauled through. For example, Fayette County, if a coal truck went through it, could be called a coal-impacted county. This court directed me to file a suit based on the constitutionality of singling out Pike County. How did that happen? The legislature did it, and with the support of Pike County legislators. In that, all the money was set aside for economic development. Historically, for example, senior citizen centers had been line-itemed appropriations of $100,000 each year of the biennium. Because that was not done 2 years ago, this court picked up that $100,000 in each year of the biennium, which put a tremendous strain on our budget. So we lost the use of that, and that suit is pending now in the Court of Appeals of Kentucky. There's money left in that fund. That fund we did allow, this court did allow use of that fund, talking about creation of jobs and so forth. For example, the paper reports today that $3.3 million that Elkhorn City was able to put together from various sources, $143,000 of that came from severance tax that had been, the expenditure of which had been enjoined by the Franklin Circuit Court. In other words, nobody could touch that fund of money, but we felt that important enough to the future of this county, to the future of Elkhorn City and that whole area, that we allow $143,000 to be expended for that. Again, for economic development, we allowed, by agreeing to lift the injunction, the city of Pikeville to get almost $1.4 million for the Marion's Branch project. And that's where Magistrate Anderson mentioned Alltech. That's where they were going to go with businesses, and other businesses and industries were to locate over there. They're building a bridge right now, and they had to get utilities to that, water and so forth, sewage. And so that was a big chunk of the severance tax money, but it was through the action of this court that the city of Pikeville and the city of Elkhorn City got it. Everybody wants to take credit when something good happens, but that's a fact. There's still a sum of money left in that account. Now, we're talking about for the last 2 years that's still at issue and is pending now in the Court of Appeals of Kentucky. Don't know when that issue will be decided. Courts, and particularly appellate courts, sometimes don't move so quickly. We'd like it to be a little quicker than that. We're looking at the severance tax allocation for this year, or for the coming 2 years, as set forth in the compromise budget of the legislature. I commented at the last court meeting that it was bad, but at least it was equally bad. They appeared to treat all coal-producing counties the same. I'm not so sure about that now. For example, when the new judicial center was built just down the street on Main Street, that's a $30-some million building, $32 million. Now, this court doesn't have any money in it, but we own it. The bond payments are being made by the Administrative Office of the Courts, AOC. As a matter of fact, we have 4 county employees over there to take care of that building, housekeepers, custodians. They're paid in its entirety by AOC. It doesn't come out of this court's budget. But when that building that used to be called the Hall of Justice behind the courthouse here, now it's the detention center building, the jail in other words, when AOC moved out of that, and they had been paying the bond payments as rent, so it was no financial strain on this court. But when they moved out, guess what happened? We inherited that debt service, the bond payments, in other words. And the treasurer's gone, but it's something over, I believe over the next 2 years, it'll be over $500,000 that we've got to find in our budget. So, you know, economic development, let me tell you, it's been an emphasis of this court for a lot of years. It's tough when you're competing against Scott County, for example, where Toyota is. You're right there at the intersection of two major interstates. It's tough to compete against Bowling Green, which is right on an interstate. It's tough to compete with Northern Kentucky, where they got a series of interstates and services and so forth. You know, I want to say this. You mentioned the occupational tax, and I want to get back to it a little bit. When it was being debated, discussed by the public, and there was a spirited and good debate over that, I had occasion to meet with Donovan Blackburn, who's the city manager of the city of Pikeville. Deputy Judge Morris and I had to go down and see him about a matter. And the question was asked, I think I asked it, I said, well, you know, Donovan, one of the allegations made by the anti-occupational tax people is that tax, that 1% tax, will keep business and industry from coming to Pike County. I'd say you heard that. It will cause businesses to move out of Pike County. I said, I look at the city of Pikeville, and it's prospering, been prospering for many years. Probably got a bigger budget than the county of Pike for 6,500 people and a fraction of the area to serve. I said, how do you respond to that? You've got a 2% tax, yet look what's coming in. I came to work this morning, a new building going up just down the street, several blocks, and my wife said, what is that? And I said, it's a Tudor Biscuit World. Just this past week, I went to the grand opening of Moe's, a new Mexican restaurant down in, what do you call that place? Pikeville Commons. Numerous apartments being built, restaurants coming up, Buffalo Wild Wings going up there. And that's, you know, that's jobs, that's service jobs. They're not terribly high-paying jobs. But the city of Pikeville continues to grow and prosper. It's had a 2% occupational tax for many years. Now, I'm not speaking for or against it. I'm just telling you what the facts are, and you can go out and drive around, and you know what I'm telling you is the truth. But that is a good part of what's going on here. The downturn in the coal economy, for example, that's not of this court's making. That's going on across the coal fields of eastern Kentucky, particularly. Western Kentucky coal fields aren't suffering quite so bad, and there's many reasons for that. Environmental problems in the mountains that are not present in western Kentucky, maybe in the coal fields of Illinois and so forth. Wyoming, you know, flatland, you can get to huge seams of coal fairly easily, but there's a whole lot going on with regard to the coal economy, and it's not just locally, it's not just statewide, it's not just nationally, it's a worldwide situation. Laying aside the environmental regulations that have been much blamed, the world economy is turning south again, and some economists are looking for a slowdown here nationally. Well, you know, we're part of the nation, we're part of the state, and so, you know, I know I've rambled, and I apologize to you. I'm just trying to touch many bases with regard to the question I was asked.
But as I understand, the coal severance tax money was never earmarked to pay for the county's debt. It was earmarked for economic development. And if you go anywhere in the county, the last big factory that we see is a cookie factory, which is located on Kemper. Why are we not down there fighting for that co-severance tax money, for economic development, and to bring jobs here. I mean, there's nobody that's working out in the county. Everybody that's working is within Pikeville
Before you
itself.
comment on that, John Doug, I'd like to answer one of your questions. Just wanted you to know, Chip, this court is currently active working with 3 companies. One of the companies is already a Pike County-based company that was not only leaving Pike County, they was leaving the state of Kentucky. And this court has worked diligently to keep them here in Pike County, and I think we've done so, and I think you'll see that coming soon. The second company, Bobby Varney's been involved in, he's worked with that company over there over the last, I'd say, 6, 8 months, Bobby. And we're getting progress there, and hopefully, one of the things that you just commented on, this court has worked hard to get grants that we filed to try to get this company help on some of our county properties. The third company we're meeting with May 17th, Lisa, the judge, and myself up with the company, that it's already has work in surrounding counties here in Kentucky, and they're very interested in coming to Pike County. We're meeting with them May 17th. The second initial conversation. And one of the things that's going to be discussed is where we're going to put them. So, I mean, even though you don't see headlines of this court not working hard to get jobs here, I think our county assistant attorney, he answered this question with, it's hard. But since we've been here for the last 14, 15 months, we've worked hard to get jobs here to this county. And I think towards the end of this year, I think you're going to see 2 or 3 actually start.
But, answering John Doug's question, he was talking about Pikeville. Pikeville is growing by leaps and bounds. But, if you go anywhere out in the county, nobody's working. Nobody.
Well, I think John Doug touched on that, Chip, the lack of co-jobs. I mean, and that's really what we're talking about here. I mean, what our industry here is in Pike County and Eastern Kentucky's co. I mean, I think we've lost 7,500 co-jobs over the last several years, and them are average of $50,000 a year jobs.
Why does it have to be co? I mean,
Well, it don't have to be co. And this court is absolutely working with their legislators with the grant money that's available to us to try to get economic growth here.
I know, like over in Majestic, they shut that school down. We could take and open that up and buy stuff and
I promise you one thing, Chip.
and put it together and create jobs in that area.
I
for
promise
people.
you one thing. We're not in a conversation with a company that Hillman Dotson's involved in that he does not mention that school.
Right.
That school has been talked about.
Right.
I mean, this court has tried every way that we know, ain't we, Hillman, on trying to get something in that school. And what I'm asking you, Chip, is the one thing that nobody wants is patience. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've lost 6,500 co-jobs over 2 years at an average of $50,000. Some of them jobs go as high as 120. I mean, is the system broke? The co in this county has turned. I mean, we're sitting with our budget. John will tell you. I mean, there's more that comes in this court than occupational tax. Like our coal and gas mineral tax. 15 years ago, we was getting $10 million in just on the coal and gas mineral tax. We got in 8 to 10. We're getting in 500,000 this year. I mean, I'll ask you, how do we overcome that? It takes patience. It takes everybody coming together, working together for a better Pike County, not just criticism every time something doesn't go in place immediately.
I've not criticized.
Well, I know you ain't, Chip. I know you ain't.
I'm just asking questions.
And I know the frustrations. If you don't think this court isn't frustrated, I talked to Bobby for the court meeting, and I asked him, I said, "Did you get any sleep last night?" He's been up since 4. I've been up since 3.
I'm all for the county. I'm for our senior citizens. I'm for our children. But working on these senior citizen centers and the parks and the four-wheeler trails, all that's great. But where does jobs come in? I mean, people.
Somebody stopped me at Velocity the other day, and they asked me, they said, Brian said, I'm for these trails.
Right,
But I'm not for these trails over creating jobs.
right.
And I think everybody on this court, even Hilma Dodson will agree with me, he'd be for jobs before he'd be for these trails.
And you
But the thing is, this county hasn't spent 1 cent on these trails. If this county does not get our trail systems in place and use the money that's allocated to us through state and federal grants, Floyd County's going to do it. So these trails, we had a trail meeting last night. These trails could be an economic boost for entrepreneurs in this county. And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, we're trying to stop the ship from sinking.
And I don't think, and in reference to what Brian said, we're not trying to be one-dimensional. Hillman has put a lot of time. I think at one point we've all done something. We've had our little niche that we've tried to help. But I think why, like the trail system, the tourism people are working, the judge's office is working, Lisa's working. I think, everybody's trying to get a hold of something that will help, to create jobs. And I don't think we've put all of our eggs in one basket. I think we're out there, trying to see what to see what industry or company can come here to locate.
There's a lot of people in Pike County that are unemployed, just like Brian said. And he said patience. Patience is something that when you involve patience, you lose your house, you lose your vehicles. I read in the paper where the population has gone from 65,000 to 61,000, and it's continuing to decline. Patience is something that we don't have.
It's everywhere, Chip. I mean, it's just not here in Pike County. I mean, it's Floyd County, it's Letcher County, it's McGoffin County.
That co-severance money is out there. Why are we not grabbing it to try to bring jobs in? I mean, it's there for economic development.
I think I just answered that. We just put $1.4 million into job creation here in Pikeville. Now, all those employees will not come from Pikeville. Many of them will come from out in Pike County. Probably most of them would. You talk about bringing business in. I think I got off track when I was telling about my conversation with Donovan. I got carried away with the sound of my own voice, but I never did tell you what Donovan responded when I asked him, how do you draw people in? Because you came up here to ask about repeal of the occupational tax. And I said, Pikeville's not considering repealing theirs, yet they're growing, they're prospering, they're attracting business and industry. A distillery right over here on 2nd Street, Alltech. Now, what he responded was this: John, you can never bring business and industry into an area where you can't provide the services that business or industry needs and desires. Now, in Pikeville, Donovan said, we have good roads and streets. We have a university with a medical school, soon to have an optometry school. We've got a regional medical center that attracts jobs from all over Pike County. We have done this because we've had the budgetary resources, primarily the occupational tax, which they've had for years and years. Since Brian thinks it's 62, I don't know. I couldn't argue with that. I pay it every paycheck I get, 2% right off the top. Do I like it? No. I just borrowed $2,000 to finish up paying my federal income tax. Do I like it? You can rest assured that I don't.
Well, I just think it's poorly placed at a time, when nobody's working.
Well, where is it poorly placed? We don't have any to place. And let me respond to one other criticism of this court, if I may, Judge. It's said that we wasted this money. This court, okay? It's political season, and that allegation is being made. Do you realize that this court did not appropriate one single item that severance tax money was spent on? The legislature put that in the budget from coal severance tax revenues as line item appropriations. In other words, if it was $100,000 for a senior citizen center, this court didn't do that. Do you know who did it, Chip? The legislature. It came down in the budget. This court doesn't make those appropriations. Now, what this court did was simply prioritize what the legislators, the Pike County delegation, put in. Yet allegations are being made against this court, as they are so often, that are not true, that are simply not true. They didn't make those line item appropriations. No magistrate had any hand. Now, maybe they made a request, just like fire departments made requests. By the way, how are you going to have industrial development and business come into an area where you don't have adequate fire service? How are you going to get business or industry to come in where you don't have good water and sewage facilities? Going back to Elkhorn City, it's sitting right there at John Moore's Branch. John Moore's Branch, according to Governor Patton, is the second most desirable area in Pike County for industrial development. It's right off of a 4-lane highway, US 460. It is going to be an expansive area of land. Do you know when Pike County is supposed to get a deed for that?
No.
About 6 years, maybe 7 years, when the state's finished with it. So things are going on. There's one ongoing project that wasn't even mentioned, the high-paying jobs and many of them. That's just, the financing package hadn't come together. And so it's not like the people in this court and the judge and Lisa are not working. They are. And if there's severance tax money available for economic development, we'll go after it, believe me. Lisa's about as aggressive as I've seen to do that. And we're not blind to that fact. I'm going to shut up. I'm just a lawyer.
Thanks, I am too.
I have something to interject, and I've been with this court since 1986. I was here during Governor Patton's administrations. Governor Patton tried to diversify Pike County by creating the Mossy Bottom Industrial Development Site. Governor Patton, as governor, had appropriations for 2 companies to come in here. Mossy Bottom was never supposed to have local industry in it. It was to diversify away from coal, so when coal became obsolete, there would be industry down there to carry on Pike County. That never happened. He brought Sykes in for telecommunications. They ended up leaving. They owned the facility. They have now sold that, I believe, to Elliott Supply, which is a local company who just relocated. The furniture factory, L.J. Miller was supposed to create furniture back during Donna Dameron's administration, went into Karen Gibson's. They ended up overnight packing up and leaving. We have tried, and it has started back under Governor Patton, to diversify away from coal. The roads, the water, the sewer, all that is very much required to get these people here. The cost of transporting things in that they need to make things makes us not as viable as other places are. But getting the roads to Pike County the way we have should start helping us to be able to get industry here, because the cost will not be as great to get things here. But Pike County has, since Governor Patton was here, tried to diversify. And now if you look at Mossy Bottom, there is nothing but local people there and things associated with coal. Even though we tried to diversify and go away from it, it sat empty. For years.
We've got a lot of vacant strip mine lands. We have good access roads anywhere in the county. I mean, you know, the access roads and the public utilities shouldn't be a problem. I know we've got public water, public sewer in Phelps, and there's a lot of property over there that we could take advantage of.
But there's not a good roads to get there, such as 4-lane, to cut the cost and the time down and the gas and all that and the wear and tear on vehicles. That's some of the things they look at. But as we get Pike County opened up, things will start to develop. It's not nothing this court has not tried for 30 years that I've been here. It's just hard because we have been isolated. And if the Mountain Parkway gets opened up to 4-lane the whole way, that's going to help open up Eastern Kentucky also.
I just know I see a lot of people leaving, and, you know, it's not gonna get any better.
Lisa tries. Just because we don't always have a picture in the paper saying somebody's coming because they never come, there's no sense crying wolf if it's not going to happen. You know, the previous administration did that all the time. There was always, oh, this one's coming or that one's coming, and what ended up happening? Nothing. Just to have a picture in the paper? No. This administration wants to do things concrete and have things, and everybody is trying. That's what hurts us, to sit here and work and try to do things and talk to people, but these are confidentiality things that you can't disclose, that you are in communication with people, because they don't want people to know if somebody else is in the process, if they're going to look at Somerset or they're going to Corbin, Pike County's in it, Floyd County may be in it. We can't force them to come here, but we try to entice them and wine and dine them as much as we can to get them here, because we understand what's going on with Pike County better than anybody else with the decline in the population and the decline in our revenues.
With all due respect, this is the same crew, with the exception of a few, that's been on the last 3 or 4 administrations.
Chip, I've been here
But-
since '94.
I'll leave it with that.
I'll let you know,
These
that
magistrates can't vote on nothing unless they're given something to vote for to bring in industry. You know, they ended up giving some of our voting to help the city of Pikeville with the airplane up at the airport.
Well, it's time the
And
county,
that did not even happen. It happened for a little while, and then after the money ran out that they got for free, they're gone.
it's time for the county to start growing a little bit besides, you know, just a city.
Amen.
But the
Chick,
county-
I agree with everything you said there. And since '94, we have tried. Every convention we go to, we talk to companies and ask them to come here. And we're competing with the level land from down Lexington back this way. They can locate without moving any materials, any mountains, and they've got good access roads to the interstates. And until we get a road from Phelps to Pikeville, it's going to be hard to draw people. We've got the land, as you said, on the strip jobs, but they say getting the tractor trailers in and out is their problem.
We haul off of them every day.
I know you do, but I like to say a company is hard to convince. And then they were even talking about moving the cookie factory if they didn't get that road upgraded. So, it's in the process of getting about 10 miles widened from the cookie factory back this way.
And the saving grace on having the Kellogg's there is that it has free gas. That is the whole thing that has held them here, is not the cost of the gas. If they had to pay for gas, they probably would have pulled out a long time ago. But the fact that they have natural gas stations on that property and have free gas is the biggest enticement to them staying here, to override the cost of what it takes to bring their products and stuff in on the 2-lane roads. Am I not right, John Doug?
John,
that was
it's
under
my
Governor
understanding
Patton.
that was the enticement to get them in there. That's a business principle called value added, that they would have access to the cheap or free energy. But I believe that agreement has since run out. I think they were to get it for a period of time, so I'm not certain about that.
Okay. Then the other thing, I want to touch on this. You mentioned that the coal severance money was earmarked for economic development.
That's what I read in the
Okay,
paper, yeah.
it is. But we go back to the legislators can write that language any way they want and suspend those 5 parameters as they have for how many years until the last 2 biennium budgets, to put anything they want to. If they wanted to, well, one of the things Phelps got money in order to buy uniforms for a drama team, but ended up, the basketball players, I believe, ended up wearing them. It was one of the things we got into with some of the coal severance line items that we didn't even ask for, that went to a school. The legislators are the ones who have the power of the gavel when it comes to that economic development pot of money down there in Frankfurt, not us. And I have reiterated that to people several times. We need to know where it's truly happening at to start with. It starts at the state level for what's dictated to us. So don't say we're misspending it. It's the legislators who appropriate it. And as I said the last meeting, one of them wants to throw off that we have all these parks and all these community centers and all these senior citizens, but we didn't get them without them putting them in there.
I didn't come here to, to sit and tell you how you were misspending. If I was to get into that, I would be here for several hours.
I was coming back to you saying that the economic development money was supposed to be used for that from coal severance.
Right.
But my point is, it would be sitting there probably and never be spent much because the legislators have opened it up. They're the ones who have line itemed these things. They're the only ones who have the power to suspend those 5 parameters, not us. It could sit there and accumulate and just be used for economic development. But they're the ones who chose to start spending it towards projects in their individual counties, not us. And for the last 2 bienniums, Pike County has, one biennium, Pike County was treated differently. Everybody else got line item projects because they suspended the law. They rewrote it the way they wanted it. It's not us.
I'm not here over the coal severance. I was just asking about why jobs are not being brought.
But you said
Yes, I did.
economic development was supposed to be set aside.
Right.
But I'm saying that don't have nothing to do with us. It's the legislators.
Yep,
Am I not right, John Doug?
you're right. John, let me have a little talk with Chip. When I was elected this time, I inherited the mess. I think most of you know about it, but some of them or whatever won't talk much about it. But when I got in office, we had no money available. None. And as far as this occupational tax, it was either pass that or let the state shut the county down if we didn't pass our budget by June the 30th. It took us 8 o'clock to send it down there to Frankfurt. And we had that, and it was able to bounce our budget so the state wouldn't take over. If the state took over, we couldn't even write a check. But let me get back to some of the problems. This administration had no money to use when it got there. And you got a lot of people out there saying, wasting money, wasting money. Well, they may be a little bit that we could decide to change, but however, we had some business to do, and I'm a pretty good businessman. And the severance tax, who wants tax? Nobody. I don't. But that's the only way. That was the only way that the county could bounce its budget so that the state wouldn't take it over. Now, you're talking about a mess. Instead of a penny, the state would probably put 10 cents out there. What do you think about that?
I don't think that they would put that much, no, sir.
Well, I've been in business a long time.
I
Been
have
sheriff
too.
2 terms. This is my 2nd term as judge.
I don't doubt your record, Judge. I
Well-
really don't.
Well, but you've got to do what you have to do to get the job done. Too many people put their hands on the Bible and take the Oval Office, and they won't even look back at it. Me, I pay attention to it.
You
It's
know,
my job.
like I said, I'm not getting into the wasteful spending thing because
Well, it was done the last administration.
yeah, well, I was here, 2 weeks ago at the fiscal court, or a week ago, when you guys voted to let every county employee work 4 hours and take 4 hours off. Now, that comes out of my pocket. That comes out of every taxpayer in Pike County's pocket. Now, if we're going to do away with wasteful spending, we need to cut that.
Well,
But I'm not here to get into that. You
Well,
guys have a good day.
Let me tell you this, once you get an office and put your hand on the Bible and take the oath of office, what are you gonna do? So you don't know, but you could sure learn it quick when you get in there. Well, I'm working for the people, and I don't have to work too hard. I made a little tad of money in the coal business, and I'm 100% for coal. But it's the way that the things was handled by some of the legislators. Took the severance tax away from Pike County only. And I'm a little smart. I don't know how they was able to do that, but they did it, so whatever.
I'd like to talk
But
to you.
Chip,
Quite in depth.
we're doing the
Hey,
best we
Chip,
can.
before you sit down, I'd like to just address one little issue with you, and I appreciate you coming to the court today on your concerns. But, you know, on the occupational tax, that's what you first came to address.
Yes.
You know, we're getting ready to go into a new budget, getting ready to start looking at it and proposing what we're going to do. And our clerk sitting back here right now, you know, she just told me the other day that her budget is in pretty bad shape too, and she needs some help. And this occupational tax, I'm hoping will help offset some of the things like our clerk and, you know, our sheriff and people that need the money to operate this county on. And, you know, I just wish that people would come and take part of our budget workshops and let us know their concerns. And, you know, I just want to apologize. And, Monk, I'll forgive you for all the things you've said about me, and I hope we can go on being brothers. I've prayed, and I know we're both Christians, and I just want to let you know that I forgive you, and you're welcome here anytime to go to that podium and address your concerns, and we'll talk like people. Thank you, Chip.
The citizens as a whole, I'm sure don't have a problem with occupational tax, but we need some growth in the county. We need for this court to go look at these companies and say, I will give you this incentive for X number of years if you will bring jobs to Phelps, to Kemper, to Elkhorn City, to Belfry, whatever area. Look at these companies and say, you know, I'll give you this incentive if you'll just consider bringing your factory to our area to help our people. And
You know, Chip, that's one thing I've been trying to work with on that school, trying to get nursing homes or people to come in and open that up and employ 40 or 50 people. And I've been talking to the school, and they're willing to really give people a good deal on it. And this county has talked about it, and we've asked Westcare and everybody that we know. The nursing home at Phelps at one time was interested in it, but the school is still there and it's secured by people watching over it so they won't vandalize it. And, you know, we even need that little ball field kept for our kids in the area to play ball in. But if you know of anybody that would like to do that, and I think it would make a good trailhead. I think it would make a good bed and breakfast for people to draw in to ride our trails and make money with. So, you know, it don't take a lot of money to get involved in that. Anybody that's got some money to want to invest, I think the school board will be willing to sit down and talk to them. And I've asked them to give us a report on the asbestos, and I think it's pretty good shape. I don't think it's got a lot of asbestos if it has any. But that's what we're here for, and we're here to listen and do what we think we can to promote businesses. And that area, I agree, has been isolated so many years. And ever since I've been here, I've asked and fit to try to get a road from Phelps to Pikeville. And we need that. So, you know, you come back anytime.
I think we've got a pretty good road. We just need to entice businesses. You know, that's just food for thought. You know, y'all may get back in executive session and say, what can we do to these businesses to entice them to come to Bobby Varney's district, or to come to Leo's district, or to come to the Phelps district. You know, that's just some food for thought. Thank you.
Chip, thank you
Chip,
very much.
One more thing, Chip, please. Yeah, I was elected judge in '02 and took office in '03. Well, in November, a company in San Francisco, California, wanted to move somewhere away from whatever they had out there. They built modules like building a motel. They'd build the modules at their factory and truck them out and set them up, and could do a 5-story motel in half the time. So I went out and we sat down to listen to them, me and John Dobie, my deputy judge, in November. And we talked, well, we didn't talk much, we listened more. They only wanted the property free. Build the building, and 10 years, first 10 years, no taxes. Well, at the time, they took $2.5 million. They'd spent that, the administration before me, of my share of the budget, and I had to lay off 37 people. Now, I'm a hard worker. That's all I've ever done is work. And I try and do the best I can. And right now, with the situation that I inherited, and with the help I've got, it's the best staff I've ever had. And we're trying to recover from what the my successor, my guy before me in this term.
Predecessor.
Wasted all the money. 400,000 was put into that gas to oil and fuel. And they never done anything with it. I called them and told them if they hadn't spent that money, that we needed it back. Well, we don't have it anymore.
Well, I just think that our population is rapidly declining, and I think that we need to entice businesses to come to these different districts. Every district has viable land. Every district has viable roads. I haul coal many years with a tractor trailer. So, I don't have any problem going anywhere in the county with an 18-wheeler.
Well,
But
what I
that's,
thought, when the cookie factory moved in, due to the energy here, I thought we'd have several people come in, companies.
Right.
Not one has come. I don't understand a lot of things sometimes.
I just, I hate to see people leaving Pike County.
Chip,
No, they're
thank you
done.
very much for your comments.
Thank you, Chip.
You're welcome anytime.
All right, there's no more public. All right, let me put my glasses on so I can see where I'm going. All right, for approval, discussion, proclamation in honor of the Shelby Valley National Honor Society, but their work with pride. Jonda, or Judge? Bobby?
Yeah. Judge, before we do that, I think we got some young people here from Shelby Valley who've got a little skit they want to put on for us. I'd ask them to come up at this time.
That'll be fine, girls.
Hello, my name is Destiny Hampton. I serve as a secretary at the National Honor Society at Shelby Valley. And this year for Pride, we have separated into 5 different groups with all the officers leading them. My group is an informational skit. We have worked in our local feeder school, Valley Elementary, and we performed it in front of various grades. And we would just like to perform it in front of you all. And we thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to let each member of my group introduce themselves, but I'm Destiny Hampton.
I'm Sydney Roberts.
I'm Tabitha Thacker.
I'm Jane Phillips.
I'm Madison Blackburn.
I'm Shelby Jones.
I'm Mary Lucas.
I'm Evan Sox.
Okay, so who in here loves to swim on a hot summer day?
Well, imagine this. You go swimming, but as you're about to dive in the pool, you see that it is filled with trash.
That's nasty, right?
Well, if you wouldn't swim in trash, why would you throw your garbage in the creek?
Polluting our waterways is not only a nasty habit, but a potentially dangerous one, too.
It can also make our water too gross to drink.
It can
Okay.
mess up boats that are sailing in our waterways too.
Okay, so now we know about the water, but what about dry land when it comes to polluting?
I have another story for you.
One day you were sitting comfortably in your home and watching TV.
While you're minding your own business, a giant drops a soda can on your house, crushing your television.
That would make you mad, right?
Well, how do you think ants feel when you drop trash on them?
How do you think forest creatures feel when they trip over our trash?
If you would not want someone dropping trash on your stuff, why do we pollute nature?
Like your mother says, treat others the way you would want to be treated.
If you want to keep the world clean and happy, then you have to keep the area around you clean and happy.
You always need to put your bottles in the plastic recycling bin.
Put all of your non-recyclable trash in the garbage cans.
Put your paper in the paper bin.
Who knows, if we all work together to keep Pikeville clean, then we can enjoy a happier, cleaner town.
If we all unite to do what's right, then we can make the world a better place.
So who in here promises to clean up after themselves?
Good. Thank you all for your time, and I hope you have a great day.
Guess we did the picture. Girls, get up there and get your picture.
Okay, first let me congratulate this young group for coming today and their little skit they put on. And they've been real active in this Pride, with this Pride group for some time, Jimmy Dale. And it's good that we are recognizing them at this time. The Shelby Valley National Honor Society for their work with the Pike County Pride Organization. Whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society cleans 2 or 3 county roads each year, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society annually adopts Robinson Creek and the left fork of Long Fork of Virgie and works throughout the year to keep these roadways free of litter, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society's Valley Sweep program removes litter from an assortment of different county roads in the area, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society provides 55 to 60 volunteers each year to assist in removing litter from Pike County roadways, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society has logged over 1,200 volunteer hours over the course of the past 10 years, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society participates each year and promotes the Pike County Pride Organization's spring cleanup, whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society has received the Pride Volunteer of the Month Award, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society has received recycling grants for Shelby Valley and the surrounding community, and whereas the Shelby Valley National Honor Society has planted trees for Shelby Valley and Tico Coal property reclamation, and the Shelby Valley National Honor Society has been recognized for their interest and teaching of environmental studies. Now therefore be it resolved by the Pike County Fiscal Court to honor and recognize the Shelby Valley National Honor Society for their selfless, volunteer spirit and exceptional public works in coordination with the Pike County Pride Organization. Witness our hands this 29th day of April, 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, I see that, buddy. All right. You like that four-wheel, don't you? Probably. I'll look at it here and see. I don't have it the 3rd, Saturday or something. Something in May. We got a meeting set. 21st. That's Lick Creek Horse Trail ride. It's the 21st. 28th's free. Now we had that ribbon cutting for the trails on the 14th. That's still on? I ain't got a time on it.
You've got what now?
On the 14th? 2 o'clock. Bus Curb Park. For who? Okay. Yeah.
We done that. Then he's reading it.
You got a river sweep, did you
This,
say?
that's next, yes. That's what it's
The 14th.
Let me put that on here, okay? Let me see if I've got it.
Are we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next is the adoption of a resolution in support of joining a 9-county area of southeast Kentucky to act as one entity until recreation, excuse me.
Judge, this is the resolution that the court tabled at our last meeting for further information, and with the specific request that the resolution provide for voluntary withdrawal by Pike County without any liability or cost. Let me say this, there was a trail meeting last night with the one, or I shouldn't say the one, with one of the ATV clubs. Some horse people were there and so forth. They were unanimously in favor of the court passing this resolution after it was fully explained. Many questions were asked. I have added, the court's read the resolution, but I added the last paragraph, which states as follows: this resolution is predicated upon the mutual understanding of the authority and Pike County that Pike County has joined the authority voluntarily and therefore may withdraw from the authority at any time and for any reason or no reason at its sole option and discretion without any cost or liability whatsoever upon passage of an appropriate resolution and presentation of the same to the authority. So that does what the court wanted it to do. Let me stress and emphasize to the court and to the public that there's not $1 of this the county's money, the taxpayers' money, involved in joining this authority. An old saying is there's strength in numbers, and this is joining 9 other counties who have a similar desire. And it is not only for recreation of the people of this county, but it's an economic development tool. If you don't believe it, look at the facts and figures out of West Virginia, what's happened to towns like Gilbert, which was dying on the vine and now has hotels, restaurants, services for the people who come in from Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and other places, and to ride the Hatfield-McCoy trails. But Judge, basically what this authority will do is seek grant money. Is that from the federal government, Lisa? From the federal government, over $500,000 to do a study in each one of these 9 counties. Again, it won't cost a penny of taxpayers' money to get this study, and the study will be a plan. If the people of Pike County and this court wants to move forward with that plan, at least it'll have a plan. You don't do anything much in this life without a plan. So that's what this is all about, and that's the resolution. I'll answer any questions that any member of the court has. Maybe Magistrate Dodson would like to comment.
Thank you, John. Judge and the court, people out in the audience. We had a good meeting last night, and these 9 counties surround Pike County. We're sort of right in the middle of the Virginia and West Virginia coalition. And Pike County looks like it's going to be one of the best draw of the whole 9, where we can get people from Virginia, West Virginia to come into Pike County and ride our trails too. And the meeting went well. We had Debbie Spencer that was here last night. And the next meeting they've got set up for the coalition is in Salyersville on May the 3rd. So I guess if the court wants and pleases to do it, we need to go ahead and accept this opportunity to get into this coalition. And like John said, we can bail out at any time. There's no strings or anything tying us to it. If we see that it's hindering Pike County, then we have an option to pull out. But I think this will give us an opportunity to work with Virginia and West Virginia on the Hatfield-McCoy trails and the spearhead trails in Virginia, to where we can come together as a coalition with them, and they ride our trails and we ride their trails. And Doug, we're ready to go ahead and map the other section from the Gap of Pawpaw into Phelps as soon as it's available and you can do it.
Okay, I looked at the weather forecast for next week and also our calendar, and Thursday's probably going to be the best day to do that.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
And we have some of the riders that will go with you, and
okay.
And we hope we can get this trail into Phelps, and then we're going to go from there on in down through Blackberry, and we want to get a trailhead in Phelps, Freeburn, and the areas that we can, Blackberry, to where we can draw people in to use our restaurants and our gas stations and things that they need to get. And also we want to offer to the public to step out and put in some cabins that they can get on the internet and offer visitors places to stay when they come in. And I feel like that will help create some jobs. And also over at the Hatfield-McCoy Park, we already have property available, and Lisa has looked up and found some little cabins that we can buy that we can set up and rent out. And if we can do that, that would create a few jobs. You'd have to have somebody take care of the cabins and somebody to rent them out. And you know, that would give us the opportunity to put a few people to work and make money on tourism. But I think it's a good deal, and I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and join with this coalition if that is your pleasure, Lisa.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
And this
Judge,
is- this
excuse
is-
me.
Go ahead.
One thing we need to do is appoint a representative. Each one of these 9 counties will have a representative. In effect, that will become like a board. And it was the consensus of the group last night that Hillman Dotson would be appropriate if you would care to recommend him, and the court can vote on that.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Let's just skip me.
You can't
Oh,
vote,
okay.
can you?
Proxy.
All right. I vote yes.
Can, John Doug, can he vote?
I don't want to vote for myself.
Can Hillman vote?
Well, it doesn't matter, really. It's just an appointment of a representative.
And you know.
You can vote no if you want to, Hillman.
I told them last night I would accept it, and there's no cost to the county. I want people to know we're not putting any money into this coalition. And
This is not a paid position, and I therefore don't see any problem with him voting if he wants to vote. Or you can abstain if you want. No big deal.
You want to?
well, you know, I'll try it and see how it works out. Thank you.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
And Judge Deskins?
Yes. All right. Adoption of a resolution authorizing the judge executive to make an application and execute all documents for the 2016 KOHS law enforcement, protection, program duty, weapons, and ammunition grants. Need a motion. Second.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Judge, may I say something, please, on this part? Me. So far, with the Sheriff's Department and helping, one thing that I do besides economic development is help to write grants for the county. And since I've been in this position, if we obtain this last grant, it'll bring in almost $60,000 to our Sheriff's Department.
Yes.
That we would otherwise have to buy equipment for. We've gotten the body armor grant, which was around 6, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going by roundabout numbers. We've had communications grant, which brought in $15,000 of communication equipment. We've also did tasers and taser, the ammo that goes along with that, and that was $9,000 that we got just in. And then this one, the last grant would be for weapons and ammunition, which is around $30,000. So basically, we brought in about $60,000 in grant money to put off the cost of helping out the Sheriff's Department. That's just one of our things that we've been doing.
Well,
So.
it was put in the
Thank you.
packets. Here, let me give you mine.
All right.
And I've got more here.
Let's see. Approval of Johnson County's appointment to BSRIDA, Big Sandy Regional Industrial Development Authority. I need a motion.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Judge, before you vote, let me just explain, since we've been talking about attracting jobs and industries. This is a nonprofit organization, and it's regional. There are 5 counties, but 6 members, Martin County having 2. But its purpose is to develop business and industry in that 5-county area. And again, it's an ongoing thing. There is a place called Honey Branch that there are several businesses located. And it's just part of the regional development. There is something in Pike County called the IDEA Board, and that's Industrial Development Economic Authority. By the way, Pike County's member on Ms. Rita is Paul Patton. He's also a member of the county's Industrial Development and Economic Authority. So I just wanted to briefly explain what that was.
I need a motion.
We got the motion. It's
All
in.
right.
We just need
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson. Yes. Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. First reading of a proposed road ordinance for Prater Drive. John Doug?
At our last meeting, we had a first reading of this same ordinance. However, when it went to the paper, a bit of what I had orally added to the ordinance was omitted, and therefore, it's my opinion that we just need to start again and get it right. You've heard the ordinance read. The changes that I had orally stated were just to put the road number on so that our records are done well and appropriately. It's in District 3, it's CR number 1587. It's known as Prater Drive. It's a 300-foot extension of that road, which is already in the county system, and it'll be 15 foot in width. That'll be the first reading. No further action is required at this time.
All right. Acknowledge receipt of the 2016-2017 proposed budget was as prepared by the Pike County Judge Executive. I need a motion to acknowledge my budget.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. All right. Cancel or reschedule May the 3rd and 17th, 2016 fiscal court meetings. May the 3rd.
I mean, May the 3rd's just next week, May 17th's Election Day, so we have to reschedule May 17th. I think last court meeting, we need to schedule it sometime after the 15th, I believe. I think that's what Frankie said.
When you get the bills ready, do we want to kind of wait and play that by ear and schedule?
Yeah, I think it's, and when something's needed, then we can call for a special meeting
Well, I
or
mean,
set
we
it
will
up.
have to have it because they have to pay the bills, and
Yeah.
I guess we need to do payroll, but we can see
Yeah.
how our work sessions and our budget goes
Right.
and so on, and we need
So
to
call
look-
it at a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you all want to talk about a work session
Well,
for
that's
next week?
next thing on the agenda. So we'll touch base with everybody and we'll schedule a next court meeting at a later date. And then we'll follow the guidelines, let the paper and the press know the date and time.
Do we need a motion to cancel May 3rd?
Yeah, I think so.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
And May 17th.
And May
Yeah,
17th.
3rd and the 17th.
And May 17th?
Yes.
Yeah, election day.
That's
they're
election
voting
day.
here.
Both of them canceled. Yeah.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson. Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
But we're not going to set the other one.
Let's see, ordering of bids, no bids, okay. Yeah,
Talk about the work session?
yeah, schedule a work session.
I think these work sessions, I think we need to get on them pretty quick. That's my opinion. I'd like to suggest that we have our first of probably several, either May 5th or 6th of next week. That's Thursday or Friday. I know me and John just got some meetings Monday and Tuesday.
I could see
Because-
Friday of next week, a week from today, yeah.
Is everybody good with next Friday?
What time we talking about?
10 a.m.?
You can't do it on Thursday.
I mean, we could do the Wednesday as well. I mean, if
Wednesday?
I've got a litter pickup at 9 o'clock at ARA.
when's your Sayersville trip, Hillman?
We're I think Doug said Thursday, we're gonna try to do that trail mapping.
What about Friday afternoon at 1 or 2 o'clock, Hill?
Well, that's all right, but I'd plan on going fish, to be honest with you.
I need Monday or Tuesday.
Next weekend, you know, I want to try to go fishing, but if, don't.
What about Wednesday?
I need Monday and Tuesday. I think it's any day but Monday or Tuesday. Because, I mean, I'll need several hours.
What about Wednesday at 10, Leo?
I may be out that then, but,
Thursday?
we can shoot for that, yes. Thursday at the suit Hillman, I will try to take care of.
Well, y'all, I don't know, I can probably get somebody to go with Doug on Thursday to map him trails.
You can map it on Wednesday maybe, or
Thursday, he said. But we'll have somebody with you, Doug.
You want morning or afternoon or evenings? 10 a.m. good with everybody?
Thursday?
Thursday, 10 a.m.
Thursday the 5th.
Yes.
thought a 911 board meeting at 10 o'clock. Or can they
Who has to be there? You have to be there.
Can you reschedule?
Okay, we'll reschedule the 911 board meeting then for the next week.
I have to publish this, so Thursday, May 5th.
So May 5th at 10 a.m.
Thursday?
Thursday, May 5th, 10 a.m.
May the 5th, 10 a.m. Budget. Okay.
And this is a work session, right?
It's a work session, but everyone needs to understand that's the same as having a special session of the court. And you need to send out notice to the press.
They'll be out here, won't it, John, in courtroom.
Yeah.
It'll be here in the courtroom, and we should have an agenda even for the work session, but the agenda is going to be consideration of the budget. So.
Okay,
We don't need a motion on this.
huh? Okay, but, Matrix Road work,
Second?
roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. All right, Matrix comments, Jeff?
Judge, I don't have any comments this time.
Just Summit Engineering called me day before yesterday and said they opened the bids up for that water on Upper Pompey, and it should be getting started before too long. And I was going to ask, have you heard anything on the road over at Upper Pompey yet? Got any?
It's in the state's hands now, and they've got some stuff sent off to the State Historical Society, so that's going to take. You know, they can't move forward until that comes back.
I know you're working on it, and I appreciate it.
And they asked for some more information first of this week, and I'd say by Wednesday that'll be to them way before they hear back from the Historical Society. So it's in the state's hands now.
Appreciate it.
You know, he said no. You're next.
I don't have very much, Judge. Chip, do you know who owns that property beside you there? Can we get somebody in there to kind of clean that up a little bit? I don't know. Look like there's a bunch of stuff they left when they moved that trailer out. Carter, sister. Maybe we can get a hold of them, but that school has got that looking awful good over at the ball fields, and that's a kind of eyesore right there beside of you and right there where the courthouse is and everything. We'll try to get it. Jimmy Dale, will you check in on that? You know what we're talking about? They'd had a trailer in there and they'd moved it out and they left a bunch of, looked like underpinning and things. Thank you. That's all I have, Jess.
Bobby?
Yes, Judge, a couple of things. You know, I want to congratulate the Pride group that they're here and remind everybody that our regular meeting, monthly meeting, is coming up this Monday. What is that? May the 2nd at 1:00 p.m. here in the courtroom. So invite everybody to come out to that would come. I can't say enough about this group and the pickup that we're doing, even in my district. But, and I was talking to Kent Stacy a few minutes ago, we're going back over some of the places that we done first, and you know what, there's litter out there already. So, you know, it's one of those things, but we're not giving up on it. And I want to congratulate this group from, these young people from Shelby Valley, the work that they do and stuff, and my hat goes off to them too. And, you know, hearing all the bad things that we've heard today about the budget and everything that's going down and stuff, I think it would be on our benefit to not open the pools this year. I think there's about $32,000 in that we could use somewhere else. And there's no way that we'll be finding money to do it next year anyhow. So I think it would just be, it'd be in our favor, I believe, guys, that we don't open those pools. That's all, Judge. Thank you.
All right. The treasurer's business.
We received our yearly reimbursement form for the fiscal year 2017, which will run July 1, 2016 through June 30th, 2017 on the new Judicial Center. This is just a formality. They have estimated that the annual reimbursement to the county for operating the facility is $409,600. Each year they get the actual expenses and go back through. If it's more we've spent, they'll reimburse. But as of right now, they're allocating $409,600 to the new Judicial Center. Just need authorization for the judge to sign and submit.
You need a motion on that?
Yeah.
A motion. Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
I'd like to get their comments. I mean, it shouldn't be 5 minutes.
Authorization for Lisa to attend the ARC Power Initiative Regional Workshop. She had to reschedule, and the closest one will be in West Virginia. So we need to authorize an overnight stay for her. We've already authorized her to attend.
Motion.
Lodging,
call,
and if
please.
she's got any meals or expenses, to reimburse her back.
Mr. Anderson? Yes. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
That'll be May 18th is the workshop in Sutton, West Virginia for ARC initiatives. Then I'd like to make record in the court documents that we've received from Anthem Life, the renewal, which is staying the same at $9 per employee for life and disability for the next year. So just wanting to let the court be aware that it's going to be the same. I have nothing further, Judge.
Motion.
Do you need a motion on that?
Motion. Who okay.
Yes.
Need a second.
We don't need a motion for that, do we?
They're doing something else.
Just told the court
Oh.
reflects that it's
They're
$9
doing-
and we pay it.
Okay.
They're doing something else.
So you have a motion, need a second?
Yeah.
We need a
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
What is that thing?
Further business, Judge.
What is that thing Lisa has?
All right. Bobby, we need to go into executive session.
I'd like to make a motion at this time we go into executive session, and in accordance with KRS 61.810, paragraph F, general personnel.
Ro- Court come to order. All right. Do you have anything?
Yeah. Couple of things. The county bidded a couple of positions, solid waste area number 1 and a mini packer driver, solid waste area number 3. At this point, the court's going to pass this to a later date on awarding these jobs due to our budgetary meetings we're going to have next week and the week after to get the budget in line before we do any full-time hiring. And also, the judge recommends that Pennyburg needs to go back to a 3A rate of pay from a 4A rate of pay effective April 29th, which is after today's day of work. And that's judge's recommendations.
Well, okay, these are my recommendations and my motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson. Mr. Dotson.
Yes.
Mr. Burney.
Yes.
Judge Desk.
Yes. All right. The commissioners and directors comment. Jackie Darrell?
I'll give you a copy, yes. Do you want me to go ahead and?
Are we gonna open the pools, or we're gonna shut them down?
At this time, I think it's the census of the court. I don't know if we got a vote on it or not, but it's the census of the court that we will not open the
Okay, 'cause
pools.
I gotta get ready to order chemicals, what we do, in order to get them in.
It's the census of the court, Paul, no.
What are we gonna do?
Thank you. One thing I want to bring to everybody's attention is we are working on adventure tourism. Hopefully, I know this is not a fix to our economy right now, but we are hoping that in later date, it will bring economic development to this area, just like it has with Hatfield-McCoy ATV or a walking trail or the Creeper Trail. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we do, and we have a beautiful scenery that we can take advantage of. One of our projects, and let me say that everything in this project has actually been donated. Everything from the paint to the time has been donated. Actually, this is and labor. This is in Leo's district. It's Fedge Creek Park. We have, right now, the park is this area right here. It has a putt-putt golf that's never used. The walking track is 675 feet, and it is used daily from the community. So what we have offered to do, and we're cleaning it up right now thanks to a lot of people, and I'll mention those in a minute, is to extend the walking track over into the baseball field, which is over on the other side where the tennis court lays. And that way we'll have more walking that goes across the little walking bridge. So this will be an extra walking area for those people in that area. We actually have the detention center out working. They've cut trees, they've weed-eated. The whole place has had a huge facelift. The bathrooms have been painted. We couldn't have made it without them. This is the picnic tables that were there. Since then, we've had paint donated, and of course the tires have been donated too, and we've cleaned up the tires from that area. They've all been cleaned because of the detention center. Since then, we've got them all painted.
All right.
They've worked really hard this whole week. They're going to be working next week on that. Valspar Paint donated all the paint. Today we picked up 6 more gallons. We're up to 30 gallons of donated paint for that area. The girls work to paint. And this is what they're coming out to look like. They actually have designs on them, so they're more inviting to that community.
And our lady inmates done all that, right?
They did. The male inmates did all the cutting of the trees and weed eating and making this property available for us to do the walking trail. And then they actually painted all the tires and the tables. And they're getting ready to go out into the shelters right now. And the tires that they are painting are going to be objects, and they're going to be filled with flowers. First, we're going to fill them with sand, And then on top of that, they'll be filled with dirt and flowers. So they're just actually just bringing beauty to that area.
Did you have a problem finding tires?
No, not whatsoever. But certain people I'd like to thank as our public works. I could not do this without Paul and his crew helping me out every day. The detention center, Freddie, our jailer, has been absolutely wonderful bringing his guys and his ladies out there to help us to do the painting. Valspar Paint and Lowe's is adopting or donating all the flowers for this. So we'll have Valspar Paint's done 30 gallons of paint. Cavalier Mineral, which is my husband's company, has donated time and money and to pushing this forth effort. We are trying to get the asphalt to do the rest of the walking track instead of just using the pathway as what it is. Physical court, solid waste for your tires, thank you. It's just taking a community of effort. The volunteer fire department, they actually went around and cleaned it up too. So it's taken a whole community to get this little park up and going. So just wanted to share that with you.
Good job.
And it costs $0.
Lisa, I want to commend you and everybody that's involved in it because it's looking great and doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lisa, I was going to say that it wasn't just a few years ago that the Corps of Engineers contacted the court and threatened to take that park away from us because of the rundown condition it was in. And I hope you'll notify the Corps of Engineers with some nice photographs of what's been done.
We are actually meeting with them on Wednesday. We've talked to Rodney. They actually knew what we were doing. So we didn't do anything without their knowledge, but I can't wait to show them the final product.
I think they'll be very pleased.
Okay. And then the other thing I'd like to bring up, one thing is we are announcing that we have your adventure weights and Pike County t-shirts that are going on sale at the tourism office. And we are promoting our walking trails, our horse trails, our future ATV trail, our rafting. That we have so many assets here in Pike County that we need to concentrate on right now before the economic development impact helps.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, if you can, just real quick, I hope this is okay, Diane. I haven't spoke with you about it, but I know Diane Thacker from her Senior Citizen Center has worked hard trying to get bingo going for the senior citizens. And, you know, the Pike County Senior Citizens Programs is pleased to announce and invite everybody to attend bingo. Opening night is Thursday, May 12th. Doors opens at 9 p.m. Bingo will begin at 6:30 p.m. It's a guaranteed payout of $4,000. The location is Belfry Volunteer Fire Department. Okay. Anybody has any questions, any concerns, please contact Diane at 432-6246. Every dime supports the senior citizens of Pike County, and I'd like to congratulate Diane on thinking forward and trying to bring in revenue for your program. I said 5. It might have been my slang. It may have come out 9, but I meant to say 5. B5. Come and eat, play bingo, win money, support senior citizens.
Celebrate Bobby Varney's birthday on May
And that's
12th.
my birthday, so come out. I'm going to win the jackpot.
You'll have a piece of cake for everybody, won't you, Bobby?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Diane. This is big for your program, and I hope people comes out and supports it.
All right. John, do you have any comments?
Very briefly, Judge, in the last 2 weeks, 2 individuals in separate areas have requested use of county equipment that they would operate on their private property. I've got to inform the court that that is just as illegal as sending an employee up there with that piece of equipment to work on private property. It wasn't done, by the way. It was denied in both instances. And if you magistrates get a request, you blame it on me. I'm the bad guy on this court anyway. And just say the county attorney said it was illegal. There is, not only is it illegal, if something were to happen to that person utilizing that equipment, there could be potential liability not only on the part of the county, but whoever authorized that equipment to be taken to private property and operated by a private citizen. You just can't do it. So I've told you, if you do it now, you know what the law is. Thank you, Judge.
All right, but it's not done, and I guess I made a mistake. I thought it was okay, and it was not. I made a mistake, so.
We stopped it before it happened.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other comment from anybody? If not, it's time for, I need a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pastor Anderson, Master Johnson, Master Murphy, Master Robinson, Master Dotson, Master Barney, Judge Hess.
Yes.
Yes.